Hey, what is good, YouTube? What is good, man? You already know your boy's back with another banger, baby. Hey, man, today's a special one. Yesterday, I hit the 2 month mark of not smoking weed, and that to me is a big achievement, man. Before we get into the video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe so we can keep on growing as a tribe. Because right now, you already know you're tuning into On The Way with Jay, baby. If you tune into me, you tune into yourself, your highest self at the highest level. So let's get into it, man. Like I said, today marks 2 months without smoking weed. And honestly, I can tell you that I feel way more different, man. So first I want to talk about how I even got to the 2 month mark. Last year I was able to go to Germany for about a month and a half, visited my girlfriend, and while I was there I just didn't indulge in any escaping mechanisms, and because I just told myself, yo, maybe this is the change that I need to continue. Maybe this is the change of, or the start of a new me, where I'm just more productive and I'm more present in life. I decided to go full out, jump, because I realized within that moment of me being there that God is finally giving me a way out, and I can say that the reason why I stopped is due to my environment. The moment I changed my environment, it was like I changed my reality. I could see it for what it was, because I went through a bit of withdrawals, and the withdrawals are bad. I had like nightmares, I was like sweating, and that happened for like a week and a half, to the point where I just couldn't sleep. I was restless, my mind was all over. And at that point I had realized, not that I was smoking every day, but I realized, damn, me just occasionally smoking is doing this to me. And then I could see it for what it was. I realized that me, myself, I only used it because I wanted to escape my reality. And once I could see that I no longer needed to escape my reality, because I always thought that, oh, if I smoke a joint, it's gonna make me relaxed. Oh, if I smoke a joint, it just takes away that overthinking. And I was wrong, because I realized that being present is the best medicine. Being in the space and facing what you have to face is the best way to grow through life. Initially when I was younger, I started smoking because it was a sign of rebellion. I wanted to rebel against like my parents. I wanted to rebel against society, against the world. It was almost like I'm taking back my power. And on top of that, I was an artist, so this was cool. I was rapping, and it was just like, it was something that was cool, man. But I realized since I turned 28 and I'm still doing the acting, I started a business last year and I'm still pushing with that. I just realized if I'm gonna be talking to people, I need to be present. If I'm going to be working with people and I'm going to be a leader, I need to be disciplined. And so that is where it started. We always start with a journey of seed retention, retaining the seed, which leads to a higher awareness. But one thing I can tell you is that once I adapted to these things, or just adapted this way of thinking and understanding and realizing that I don't need it, man. The only reason why I told myself I needed it was to escape my reality, was to escape my problems. And that in return made me lazy. It made me less present, because my head was always in the clouds. My head was always thinking, and I wasn't acting on what I wanted out of this life. Now I know that a lot of people are going to say, oh, that's just you. You're right. To each their own, and every person goes through it differently. But one thing I can say I realized is that it did slow me down. Being on semen retention, it took away my drive, that hunger for life. I was always just planning and not taking action. And now this doesn't come after like a few weeks. This comes after like continuously going back. Life isn't good. Let me smoke. I have a bit of time left. Let me smoke. Let me be chilled. Let me be the chilled guy. You can't be the chilled guy forever. At some point in your life, you need to move forward, and this year, yo. This year, as I'm going into my Saturn return year, I just realized that I'm gonna have to be way more disciplined, man. I'm gonna have to show up for myself. I'm gonna have to show up for my family. I'm gonna have to be the person that I know and think I am in a pure state, in a clean state. If I'm working on my vibration, then it just makes sense for me to change what distracts me so that it no longer controls me. Because if I can control my mind, if I can control my appetite, if I can control my distractions, I can control my life. And so that is how I got here. That is how I got to this level, man. Was just to take control, you know. And in the beginning it's gonna feel hard. It's gonna feel like you can't do it. But all you have to do is hold on. Because the longer you hold on, the easier it gets. And I'm at a point now, since I've reached the 2-month mark, where it no longer affects me in that way. Because I found different ways to calm my nervous system. On top of that, I thought that me like smoking weed calms my nervous system. It didn't. It just, in a sense, made me postpone things, and it made me, like I said, less active, you know. Yes, it made me observe life from a different perspective, but do you genuinely think going to a higher perspective is always going to help you? No. Sometimes you need to be present and just touch reality and change what you can in the moment by being present, and that's the only way you're ever going to grow. You know, I had to realize that I come from a place, an environment where substance plays a big role in people's perspective, and it alters their whole reality, you know. And I can definitely say that I found new ways to calm my nervous system, such as going for a walk, such as coming to the park, taking off my shoes, grounding myself, being rooted, stretching. Every evening I now go for walks, and that walk is able to clear my mind and just make me more at peace and at ease with what is, because I'm not trying to run. I'm not trying to escape. And that is what I've realized it's been for me, man. 2 months has absolutely been a blessing, man. 2 months has absolutely been the best thing that ever happened to me. Now, have I stopped smoking before? Yes, I have. When I lived in Doha, I did not smoke for 8 months. But as soon as I came home, I realized that it was harder because I came back to the same environment. And I realized why a lot of people can't stop and why it's not easy for them to stop. It's because you're coming into an environment where you already put certain settings at play. And now the moment you want to go and change like the play, it's impossible, because the moment you tell yourself, oh, I'm not smoking, a friend hits you up, yo, do you want to chill? And you know what that chill implies. We're going to smoke weed, we're going to talk, we're going to catch up. But then that just becomes another routine. Because now you're talking for 2 hours. After you're done talking, what happens? You're tired, you want to eat, you want to go chill. And that's the problem. That's the problem with all these substances. It makes you too relaxed in a world where you're supposed to be doing things, where you're supposed to be creating things, where you're supposed to be living life to the fullest. Because when you take away that relaxation, and when you pair that with this energy of retention, you will start to see that creativity has always been there. You will start to see that what you've wanted you could always attain. But because you've told yourself that you need a certain substance to make the music, you need a certain substance to vibe out with people, to have fun, to be able to party, you know. It's such an illusion, and that is all it is. Once you tell your mind that you are ready to fully live and be present, your life will start to change. And I hope that this video resonated with whoever needed to hear that, man. Hey, the wind is picking up. That means that the message went through. All peace and love, man. I hope that this video helped you. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And please let us know how your journey has been and whether or not you're still struggling with it, man. Hop in the IG DMs and we can talk about it, you know. I can give you a few steps to kind of start this new journey of just being present and living life to the fullest, baby. Hey, we on the way.